Okay, all the track testing. This train here runs beautiful around the whole thing. This one, nice. Both of these run flawless. Then we come to this boy again. All aboard! This will not go across this right here. This is the end of my decline down, just like the original track. It's a trouble right there, and of course I have a joint right there too, so I've had to rebuild up underneath that there with some latex and some shims, and I think it's good now. But what I'm going to end up having to do, because I never did really put all the track together really good, I just stuck it together with the connectors, didn't solder it. But all these trains work fine, but this one here is just a little clanky on the it's got four let's see, that's a 4 6 4, and when that 4 hits the front end here, there's too many moving parts to this thing, and what it does is it just drags the tracks apart because they're not soldered together. It just, as soon as it hits in here, it just pulls the track apart and derails the train, and it goes everywhere. But every other train does fine, so I'm going to go ahead and solder this piece here on, and then try it again and make sure if I don't need to back up on that again. But I'll solder this piece and then try the whole track back again and make sure, because that was the only part that was messed up. Let me try that. Okay, here we go, back onto this guy again. Everything else works perfectly around this whole track, except for this train won't go in this direction around this Y curve. Will not go across it. Now I'll show you what I had to do over here on the first part that it fixed. I'm gonna have to show you magnifying. Okay, this is magnified. Let me point it out here. When this closes or closes, this piece right here was bent a little bit. I don't know how. I didn't do anything. Also, I had to file it so that when it closed, it didn't have a hump there, because what it was doing was every time this front truck on this steamer would come around here, it would hit this, half the train would go down this side and half the train would go down that side. So I think I got this one taken care of. Now I'll show you the next one. Okay, this, every time the steamer comes along in here on the inside track, it derails right here on this V, and it looks like a lump. So let me show you what I found here. If you take a look here, there's a little piece of plastic that I guess they put on there that's kind of there, but every time it hits that piece of plastic, the train derails here. So I looked at the other Y on this piece right here, and take my word for it, I'm not going to take you down there. There's not one of these on there. Whatever this little piece here is, it's causing it to derail. So I'm going to take it off. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's got to go. Okay, after fixing this, let's see, she'll go around on 2. Okay, I'm around the first one, and she's humping and lumping, but apparently she made it around all that, but it sure looked awful lumpy. And looks like gonna go. I'm gonna go. Run straight away. I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna expect problems there because it just looks like it just clanks around all these pieces. Here's a little faster. Here's a 7. Let's see what she does here now. This time I'm gonna swap her to the inside track. Boy, that looks just troublesome. But it made it. Now it's gonna swap. And it's disconnected everything right through there. Great. Okay, it looks like I've fixed another in that little area that I showed you earlier here, where I had to take out the little piece of plastic off of there. Also, every one of these leading edges on the front were higher than the track when I put a straight edge on them. So I filed the front edges of these things down just a little bit on these little nibs right here, and on the back side also too, just lightly filed it. Now let's see what she does. And boy, it still looks clunky, but all the wheels are still in place, and of course I have my re-railers tactfully placed for that purpose anyway. And I was having to use the re-railer to get through there. Now it's working fine. So let me just keep tweaking on this thing. Okay, after about a month of tweaking with this track, I've got it all secured down. As you can tell, I elected not to put the latex underneath all of the track. I just put it underneath 6 little, probably, 4 or 5 inches apart, just enough to keep the track secured down. I did not solder all of my joints. I guess what I'm saying is I left as much of the door open as I could in case I wanted to get rid of this and not use it at all if it didn't work, and it wouldn't tear up so much stuff. But apparently all the trains are working good, and let me show you. I'll just do a quick run through here with a few trains. And this is what happens when you forget to change the thing over. This chain just tips off the track. It won't automatically push these things open. So I guess that's one of the downfalls of having all these things on here. Let's see if this train, get this out of the way. Let's see what this will do. It derails. So, hot tip. Got to be a way to Gotta be a way to put some indicators or something on here. Indicators on here to let you know that these things are open if you forgot to close them or open. Because if not, everything just derails, which makes this thing just a little nightmare, seeing that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potential bad areas. Sweet.